down here in the engineering department. It's also an important service that the municipality provides. So, Mr. Chairman, members of the Public Safety Environment Committee, I guess it was a few years ago that Council Mayor expressed deep interest in lighting and the new LED technology that's appearing. And I guess it's time that we brought you up to date on what's happening. Most of the street lights in the city of Fredericton actually belong to NB Power, so they're our partners in providing that service. LEDs now are light emitting diodes, that is the latest revolution. It's been around for maybe 10 years, but it's just starting to prove itself. So we're very excited to see what's happening, and we're going to learn briefly to, I guess, a PowerPoint presentation from Eric and his colleague on what NB Power are going to do that will have an impact both on, you could say, public safety, because lighting does just that, but also on enhancing environmental advantages of this, reducing our energy factor. And of course, for the city, we're hoping that this will also have an impact favorably towards the cost of providing these services. Eric has been working with me for the last couple of years, at least, and he is a lighting specialist. I know he's worked very hard with the group. You may have seen a brief announcement there that they are moving to a contract with suppliers now for LEDs. We have a program to continue with trying to be more rational on our wattages out there, which this LED shall address some of these issues. I believe Eric also has one of his colleagues listening today who will give this PowerPoint, so I'm going to let Eric say a few words to this gentleman here. Sure. And then I said enough. So, Mr. Chairman, I'll let Eric take over.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Eric. Eric Bowman, as Mark stated, and I'm the NB Power's lighting specialist. And we have been working very hard over the last number of years to carefully analyze the LED and its evolution as a product. And of course, we're here to speak about that. I have my NB Power's Manager of Product and Services here. He'll give a brief presentation, kind of NB Power, then move ourselves right into the LED. We'll be here to answer any questions. We're talking about LED street lighting is what we're talking about. So we have a province-wide program, and Blake will take us through a little PowerPoint, and we'll answer any questions that you guys might have.
Do I like more of the presentation?
Good way to start.
Anyways, I'm Blake Hunter. As Eric mentioned, I do manage the products and services group within NB Power. Products being streetlights, water heaters, and our energy renewable type of programs, net metering and better generation. First of all, I'd like to really thank you and thank Mark in particular for the opportunity to come and talk about our LED streetlight replacement program. Due to the time constraints, I won't spend a whole lot of time on this particular slide, but essentially what I'm trying to, or what we're trying to show here is that there's many things going on at NB Power today. The LED replacement program is sort of a subset of a lot of that we're working towards as far as reducing debts, operating a top quartile type of company, and looking at ways that we can reduce and shift our demand. So NB Power has actually been renting lights to municipalities for about 55 years. Prior to the 1980s, the technology was a mercury vapor. Back in 1980, we went through basically a replacement program that we're going to be embarking, similar to what we're going to be embarking on here in the coming months. But in the 1980s, the technology changed from mercury vapor to high pressure sodium. So the lights that you predominantly see around the province and in the city today are high pressure sodium. Generally speaking, they're about 100 watts. So the high pressure sodium light is a sort of a yellow type of light, and the new technology, or the LED technology, is more of a whiter light. At the end, I'll kind of show you the differences. So as Mark had mentioned, LED technology for street lighting has been around for a while. NB Power has actually been sort of playing or testing or piloting LED technology for about 4 or 5 years now. We've hosted a couple national and some would say an international conferences back in 2007, 2010. And a lot of the focus was around LED technology. The technology was relatively new. It was very expensive. As any new technology, as you would expect over time, the quality would go up and the price would actually start to come down. And we're actually at the point now that we're comfortable that the technology is proven, and we're quite comfortable with the prices that we're seeing in the marketplace today. So what we have going on right today with within LEDs is in Fredericton we have about 34 lights over in Douglas Avenue, and that's comprised of about 10 different manufacturers. What we wanted to do with that is we wanted to be able to test the various manufacturers. Not all lights produce the same quality of light, and not all manufacturers produce the same quality of light. So that was sort of step number one. Then in 2009 we announced or launched an LED community pilot project, and we actually put up about 400 LED lights across the province in 40 communities. The response from our contacts, city engineers like Mark, have been overwhelmingly positive. So what we did is we actually went to our board of directors back in February. Eric and I worked hard on putting together a business case on what the economics and what the customer impacts would be on replacing all 72,000 of our high-pressure sodium lights to LED technology. So back in February, we presented that business case to the board of directors. It was approved. The reason the business case works is, like I was saying, the efficiency of the LED technology has been improving. So basically, there's energy consumption savings as a result of that. And for MB Power, there's actually some maintenance costs. Today, what happens is an HPS light has a bulb in it. The bulb needs to be replaced, or it burns out actually, in about 5 to 6 years. So our crews go around and actually replace those bulbs as they burn. But we've actually, quite a few years ago, we started a program that we would actually proactively go out and replace those lights, hopefully before they actually burned out, to provide the service to the municipalities that are running them. So we had a positive business case. So back in October, I think it was on October 11th, we publicly announced that we were going to embark on this LED replacement program. And essentially, we're going to replace 72,000 streetlights around the province over a 5-year period. The capital cost associated with the project is somewhere around $30 million. And we envision, and we're going to be working with the EUB on this particular one, that the rates for LED streetlights will in fact be lower than what municipalities are currently being charged today. So, when we talk about a replacement schedule, Eric has been working with our supplier. We went out and we did a technical qualification. We received over a dozen submissions. We reviewed those submissions, and then we went out for an RFP, and we selected a supplier by the name of LED Roadway Lighting out of Halifax. They have a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Amherst, Nova Scotia. So they are, in fact, our partner for the next 5 years. LED Roadway Lighting says it's the single largest order of LED lights in the world that they're aware of. It's not the single largest replacement program. California has probably 100,000 replacements under the belt by now, but a single order with confidence of a particular manufacturer. So we'll be beginning here probably late November, early December. We're going to start issuing or start installing LED streetlights for new installs. So if a city or a municipality builds a new street, the new technology obviously would start to go to LED technology. In December, we're going to be working with a few cities to actually do some small-scale replacements. Basically, what we need to do is we need to figure out what's involved as far as an inventory control, as well as a workforce management side, to actually figure out how long it's going to take us and what sort of steps we need to do from safety sides and things like that. So we're actually going to be working. Eric is going to be working with Mark. We're planning to add about 50 LEDs on the Douglas Avenue site. So as you may recall, we had some lights there from different manufacturers. We're actually going to extend that. So in the spring, we expect full replacements of the lights to begin. It's going to take 5 years, as I said. We expect the work to happen between April and November for obviously weather reasons, productivity, safety, issues like that. And this spring, we're going to be working with Mark and his folks to look at replacing the lights in Fredericton North. The lights in Fredericton North are up for what we call planned maintenance, and we envision replacing those lights, and about 2,000 of them there this spring. So, as I said, the replacements will kind of follow our planned maintenance schedules. And there may be some cases that if we're in a particular area and the crews are in there working, we actually may expand upon that a little bit, but we hope and plan to follow the planned maintenance schedule as best we can. Due to the volume of work, we're actually going to be tendering the service out. We physically don't have the manpower to handle that volume of work internally, so we'll be working on a tender specification over the winter, and we'll be issuing that early in the new year to actually look for contractors to help us do that work. So what are the benefits of LED technology? Essentially, the light that we're buying today is manufactured to last 20 years. You put the light up, it should be good for 20 years. We do have some safeguards in our contract that if a certain percentage of lights do fail and things, there's some warranty issues in there. We think we have ourselves covered, but a traditional HPS bulb lasts 6 years. So the technology is more reliable. It means the light will be on more often. We also feel that the quality of light that it emits is different than an HPS, or some will say it gives better color rendition. LEDs use about half the electricity, so to replace all 72,000 lights, there's about 27,000 million kilowatt hours of energy savings that we would expect by replacing those lights. If you break that down into Fredericton has about 4,100 lights that are rented from MB Power. You're talking 6% of the total, so it's about 1.6 million kilowatt hours of energy, or about 19,000 tons of CO2 emissions. So it's not it's a significant amount of energy savings. Well, what I want to do is, what I want to finish with is I basically want to leave you with two pictures, two photos. We say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so in this case, two pictures is worth 1,000 words, hopefully. This is a sample of Annapolis Royal in Nova Scotia that went through the same process that MB Power is going to start to go through to replace streets of HPS. So this is an actual photo taken before the change-out was done. So there's a couple things that we want to bring to your attention. One is the light that's hitting the road is more of a yellowish type of color. You can probably see that there's some bright spots on the yellow line, and there's some darker spots in between. So we call that sort of globs of light with the technology today hitting the road. The other thing you may or may not be able to pick up is what we call light pollution. The HPSs today emit light not only just on the ground, but they actually go into the sky. So you see a lot of light pollution. So this is essentially what it will turn out looking like when we replace a street. And that's how we intend to do it, go down street by street. So a couple obvious differences there. One is the LED technology is much whiter. Some would say it gives you better color rendition. The other thing that I'd like to direct your attention to is, I can't point it here, but if you look at the first LED street light up in the top right corner, you should actually start to see beams of light coming down. The light is much more focused on the area in which we want to light. They're street lights, so we want to light the street lights in the adjacent sidewalks. So you can kind of see a difference. You can also see that there's more dark around the photo. That's the light pollution, less light pollution that the particular light would be giving off. So I thank you for your time, and Eric and I are here to answer any questions you may have here.
Great, thanks. Bruce.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I guess I call this a pretty good news story. On many fronts, I mean, first of all, we talk about revisiting the DOB and lowering the rates. For us, it's a substantial cost for street lighting in the city, and on a budgetary point of view, it would certainly help. Any means would certainly help, but I think it's fantastic that you're revisiting that. It's great that you're actually building this out. It's going to help a lot of communities as we start to face a lot of challenges during the budget process. One side note is Atlantic Province jobs. I mean, may not be in New Brunswick, may not be in Brighton, but, we're a small area in Maritimes, and anything that helps employment is an excellent thing. So having a manufacturing plant in Amherst is certainly positive news. We recently undertook a bunch of replacements of the traffic lights, and we drove substantial savings, even at the rates that we're at on there, and over the last couple of years. So I expect this to be a pretty substantial saving as we go through this, and certainly appreciate your efforts in moving this forward, and certainly like the aspect that Brighton North will be done first.
No, hey, look, every once in a while, not every once in a while, but sometimes things all come together, right? I mean, this is like, it saves energy. It's a more effective and focused light, and it helps on the fiscal side. So, it's got everything going for it. So it's obviously a good project that we're involved with, and it's great to see that you guys are doing it. So, and the fact that it's in Amherst, I'm sure there's somebody from New Brunswick maybe sneaking over to that plant working there. So it's nice to see that the technology is local and that it works. So that's great. So thank you once again for coming in.
I did have one point, Chair. We do actually have a sample of the light. If anybody would like to see it, we can leave it around if people want to take a look at it. It's definitely different than what we have today.
Okay, very good.
The commission has $30 million over 5 years. Where is NB Power's payback? That this reduces the power of the city's because you can use that power somewhere else. Is that power payback? I'm wondering numbers-wise.
You mean number of years?
Well,
Where do we get our
investment?
Where do we get our payback?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The way we get our payback back is we modeled that the actual streetlight rate would come down for municipalities, but there are energy and maintenance savings that will actually be able to do that. And that's essentially how it pays for itself.
Okay, Stephen, perfect.
Yeah, I just wonder, based on quick math, with the current kilowatt hour rate, the saving roughly, what sort of ballpark saving might we
Expect.
hope for?
Yeah, we have a request in the DUV staff today, or a couple weeks ago we made the request, and we're waiting to have some conversations with DUV staff, but we envision that the rate reduction will be somewhere around 7 to 10% to the municipalities. You have to realize that all the cost of the lights are significantly higher than what we're paying for today, so there's increased capital costs. So the energy savings and the maintenance costs will go to paying that, but municipalities shouldn't expect a 50% reduction. The reduction after you start to pay your capital costs is more reasonable, around 7 to 10%.
So you'll change your rate, the rate for the capital component.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just looking at the kilowatt hours.
Yeah. A lot of people, Chair, actually view it that way, it's straight kilowatt hours, but there's significantly different capital costs associated with that light. That light is actually, I would call a mini computer. It has a power drive and everything in it. It's significantly more expensive.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next up, we got a couple of ones from the police.